Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to the very second episode of MALN Opinion Plus, a new weekly series coming at you every Friday. This is a space for our opinions where we talk about current events and questions the Latino community are curious to know. Today, we are joined by President and CEO of Massachusetts and Immigrant and Refugee Advocacy Coalition, Eva Millona. Millona began her current career just this past April, but she first joined the coalition in 1999 and has taken on a variety of leadership roles within the organization since then. Millona is also the co-founder and co-chair of National Partnership for New Americans. Welcome, Eva, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited for our conversation.
Thank you.
So I'd like to start by talking about the recent reinstatement of the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, also known as the DACA program. A federal court ruled just last week on December 4th that the Trump administration must accept new DACA applications. Does the coalition offer any information or resources to Massachusetts residents who are curious about the program and who might be interested in applying?
So thank you so much for the question. Just for the benefit of the listeners, as you said, a federal judge recently ruled that the Trump administration must fully restore the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, the DACA program, and that opens up the program to new application for the first time. DACA has proven to be one of the most successful integration programs and provided opportunities for young people to work, go to school, and also join the military. As is known, DACA offered also protection from deportation. And because of the court decision, the administration is now finally accepting new applications, which will affect other youth to apply for these benefits. More than 1 million young immigrants could benefit from the ruling nationwide. 300,000 eligible new applicants and 700,000 currently are recipients, and they are eligible for renewal. Here in our Commonwealth, 15,000 individuals may be immediately eligible to apply for the DACA benefits. And currently there are 5,480 DACA recipients, and some of whom may be eligible to renew their applications. So what we are providing at MIRA is technical assistance and support and information for DACA recipients. We also were very fortunate to get some funds from the EOS Foundation to be able to pay for the renewal application fee for DACA recipients. In addition, we also are offering referral services, especially for those who may be eligible to apply for DACA, so not those who currently have status and are applying for renewal. It's really important that they get legal advice and talk to legal services and specialized immigration attorneys to get information. And MIRA is happy to provide their referrals to those individuals who may be eligible before they apply.
Okay, thank you. We'll be sure to include a lot of those resources along with this episode. Some experts have called for DACA to become a law so the program could be secure for many years to come. I'm wondering what's your take on this idea, or what are some related benefits or challenges that come to mind?
So let me say that from the beginning, MIRA as an organization has always been an advocate for a legislative fix of DACA. With many of our members and partners, we have really fought very hard that Congress really passes the DREAM Act and this issue gets resolved legislatively with a path to citizenship for 1.5 million young people across the country. This effort has been going on for many years. And Congress unfortunately failed to really legislate DACA. And as a result of those failures, President Obama signed an executive order to provide an opportunity for young people who met certain requirements to apply for this benefit. So it was an administrative fix. It wasn't from the beginning a legislative fix. And it was a Band-Aid solution, but it served the purpose for many years, for over 7 years. young people and dreamers have been able to apply for the benefits and have work authorization and driver's license and get employed and go to school and be part of our workforce. So even though it was a Band-Aid solution, that it worked, it's not what we would like to see in terms of long-term legislative fix. And the hope is that Congress will act. There is bipartisan support to get legislation passed that will provide a path to legalization and eventually citizenship for dreamers. The House did pass the Promise and Opportunity Act. So the House really passed legislation. The Senate, unfortunately, didn't, given the politics of the issue. But we do support the legislative solution of DACA and are committed to working with Congress and the new president to get this issue to the finish line. The hope is that President Biden, being a leader in American politics who work across the aisle, will provide the necessary leadership to get this issue resolved. So yes, we would like to see this legislatively resolved, and for the time being, a reinstatement of DACA that would provide relief till Congress acts.
Right, thank you for that. So I'd like to move on then to the Trump administration's current version of the public charge rule. The current rule has bounced around federal courts this year and was eventually allowed to be enforced nationwide. However, just last week, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled against it. For our audience, according to the rule, undocumented individuals may be denied a green card or visa if immigration officers decide that person is likely or liable to become a public charge, which means depending on certain government benefits. First off, I'd like to hear your views of the rule.
So the public charge has been in the books for 100 years. And under the Trump administration, the new public charge rule that went into effect in February 2020 aims to prevent working class immigrants from receiving a green card or visa. So it is a wealth test, and it has been extremely expanded. Under this policy, immigrants applying for a green card or a visa could be deemed a public charge, which is a term under the immigration law that refers to someone who depends on the government and would be turned away if they earn below 250% of poverty, federal poverty line, or use any of the wide range of public programs for working families, or are deemed to be likely to use them in the future due to their income, age, health status, credit score, and other factors. So these programs include Social Security insurance, supplemental security income, Section 8 housing assistance, supplemental nutrition assistance program, SNAP benefits, non-emergency Medicaid coverage, and other federally funded programs. So despite these facts, this is really an unfair policy that has impacted of making immigrants afraid to really seek public benefits or safety net benefits, to say, when they are entitled to, out of fear that they will be deemed public charge, even though they're eligible for safety net at a time of need. This is especially devastating during COVID-19 and the economic fallout, which has severely and disproportionately impacted immigrant households. So the public charge rule is part of the repeated attacks on low-income immigrants from this administration, along with attempts so far blocked by the courts to really increase application fees and limit the fee waivers for applicants for naturalization in particular. So it is a wealth test, has increased what was a fair policy for so many before the expansion, and luckily the court challenged the administration rule, and we are hopeful that the Biden administration will rescind the new public charge rule and other attacks, and will go back to the guidance that was before the Trump administration that really determines the public charge, the cash benefits, and the long-term disability as the two big items under the previous rule on the public charge.
Okay, thank you for that in-depth explanation. Does the coalition have any estimate of how many non-citizens living in Massachusetts might be impacted by the rule?
This rule only applies to those who apply for a green card. So people who are in the United States and apply for a green card, the process is called adjustment of status. And there are, thousands of applications pending, but I cannot speak to what the number is. What I can say is that, under the current public charge, blown 250% of the poverty level makes it really difficult for immigrants to sponsor their family members. And the same thing is for the consular processing for those who apply for a green card and are outside of the country and entering the country or requesting a green card through the family-based immigration. And I just want to say also that the public charge applies to those who apply for a green card and not other applications. So for those who apply for citizenship and are entitled to fee waivers, the public charge does not apply. And it has created a lot of confusion, and it has created fears among the community, and especially under the crisis of COVID, when people, were unable to access testing or other safety net due to the fears that public charge might be an issue for them in the future.
Right. So the Trump administration has also recently made sweeping changes to the citizenship test, which makes the test longer and, according to immigration experts, much more difficult. And according to the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, the current pass rate for the test is 91%. How might these new changes impact an undocumented person's chances of passing, do you believe?
So first of all, just for clarification that an undocumented person is not eligible to apply for citizenship. In order for an immigrant to apply for citizenship, they have to meet they have to meet 9 legal requirements, one of them being a green card holder and for 5 years, and many other requirements. So for those immigrants who are eligible to apply for citizenship, the current test is fair, it's meaningful, and it has a very high rate of passing. And the current, revisions of the civic exam for any applicants who submits an application on or submitted an application after December 1st, it's important to note that those who submitted application after December 1st, if for some reason they will get called for the civic test, they will be tested under the new test. And for those who applied before December 1st, the old test applies to them. Our hope is that the Biden administration will reverse the revisions of the test, and hopefully that will be the case. So even for those who applied after December 1st, but technically for those who applied after December 1st, the new revised test, it's applicable. The number of study questions for the new test has increased from 100 to 128, and applicants are now required to answer 12 out of 20 questions correctly, rather than 6 out of 10, as was previously the case. Many of the revised questions have more complex wording, the way that the new test has been designed, and feature abstract concepts, and for that reason are likely to be more difficult for individuals with lower English proficiency or those who have less formal education. These changes make it even more difficult for individuals who obtain citizenship through no fault of their own. And this will make it, difficult for them. Here in Massachusetts, thousands of people become citizens every year. Even under the difficult period of COVID, 17,000 so far in 2020 were able to get their citizenship. And it is estimated that more than 200,000 green card holders are eligible to naturalize. So with this new test, new barriers are likely to be part of, the upcoming opportunity for people to naturalize. The hope is that the Biden administration will reverse this, and the old test will be in place. But as it is right now, it does present a difficulty for individuals who apply, but also for the organizations and some of the MIRA members who offer citizenship services. Doesn't give them enough time to prepare the students for the new test. So MIRA offers free pro bono services with the test application assistance, not for the preparation of the civic exam. But there is a list of organizations on our website and MIRA members who provide civic services for the citizenship test.
Okay, thank you so much for your expertise. And thank you for talking with us, Eva Millona, and for our guest on MALN Opinion Plus.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure speaking to you.
Likewise.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so everyone, please tune in next week for another episode. Follow us on Twitter at MA Latino News and at Instagram at MA_Latino News. I'm Belen Dumont with MALN Opinion Plus. See you all next time.